if my dad had a walk-up song today, this would be it. Because this was his philosophy. This is how he lived. I don't know if you know, but in that softball video at the very end, we were living in Palm Springs, and word got out, maybe by me, to the softball coach. And my dad was a pretty good pitcher. He goes, well, what do you like to do a clinic? I go, oh, my dad's 85. But we'll ask him. Took him about all of a minute to say, heck yeah. Well, he hadn't pitched the ball in 20 years. I think the last time was with the tropics when he blew his bicep out in Hawaii. He didn't even have a glove, if you noticed. But yet, came right out. We went to the street, threw a couple pitches. I caught him. And there was. Still teaching, still competing, still throwing smoke at 85 years old. Now, the beginning, when we saw him, he was a young 65, right? He's a young 65. And Gino, by the way, thanks for having his back. You always had his back wherever you are, right there. Thank you. 65, and he's striking young bucks out like it was nothing, right? And I love it when he walks up to the guy, whoever was doing 11s, and he goes, he went hammer time on him. Can't touch this. And if you were that guy that was swinging the bat, or you know him, I apologize. But just know that you helped add to my dad's legacy. And Hutch, don't laugh, because I have one of you, but I couldn't do that to in front of all your boys, right? Right? So, anyway. My dad also taught us perseverance. Never quit. Last October, when I had a chance to ask him all the questions you want to ask, I go, hey, Dad, when did you start? When did you start pitching? This is out. When did you start? How'd you start? When? And he goes, well, I was 16. And they put me in right field. And the guy wasn't doing very good ahead of him. And, hey, Verdugo, can you pitch? Yeah. And he goes in there. How'd you do, Dad? I walked 16 batters. 16! I go, well, how'd they keep you in? And he goes, the other guy was worse. So, anyway, again, we'll just have to bear with this mic. So, my dad didn't quit, though. He never stopped. He just kept trying to get better. And as we all know, in this room, a lot of us, he was one of the best softball pitchers to ever step in the circle, right? So anyway, before I turn it over to you and you share your memories, there's a couple things I just want you to know. We know. I mean, look at this room. Some people say, how many is going to be here? I go, I knew there were going to be a lot. But it's back. And I knew it. Just putting on Facebook when I did my little tribute to him. I expected maybe a few likes, a few hearts, maybe a few, hey, sorry for the loss of your dad. No, there were like 130 comments from Jerry to, Leo Estes. There was so much love. You guys hear a little in and out? I'm sorry. Okay, get over here. I move around a lot. It's just me. There we go. There was so much love and comments. So, and here's what made my dad have so many friends. We've realized. He was just always interested in you. He cared about you. Even though he was the spotlight under the lights a lot of time, he was more interested in what you had to say, had to offer. And that was him. That's what made him so special. The other thing is he lived like a champion. He wanted you to live like a champion. He taught us how to live like champions. He taught us how to win like champions. He taught us how to lose like champions. And if any of you ever played pool with him at the very end, he could be up 6-1, and usually it was 6-0 against me, and you are defeated. You would just want to go home. I go, okay, Dad, you got me. You got me. You look over, and he's racking the balls. What? And he smiles. And he looks and he goes, one more. This game's for championship. Because he wanted you to feel like a champion. And that was Bert Verdugo, our dad, our husband, grandpa, teammate, our friend. And that's who we're all here honoring today. Thank you very much. for celebrating the life for Bert Verdugo. At this time, I would like to.
Good job, Marty.
At this time, hope the mics work, or just hope the mics works, or you have a loud voice. I'd like to pass it around and let you share your memories, your stories about the lefty in the sky.
Hi, my name's Jerry Goddard, and I've known the Verdugo family clear back 10, when Marty and I were 10, 11 years. Marty was on the Rams, I was on the Owls. And in that time, we have spent a lot of time together, developed a huge friendship. But as to Bert, he's one of those special people. And as I started thinking about Bert, man, I just kind of fell into a haze and just thought back the first time I ever saw him pitch. And it's up in Reading. And I just remember pulling into the gravel parking lot, walking towards the field, full moon coming down on a summer's night, full moon coming down, walking towards the field, getting closer, you hear the roar of the crowd, the chatter, you see the white with the red pinstripe Shakey's uniforms. As you get closer, you start hearing the fans on the bleachers yelling out, "Come on, Lou! Come on, Lou! Let's go!" Or Gino, "Come on, Gino!" Then you got, "Come on!" Just ready for Shakey's. And I tell you, the excitement builds. I remember as you walk in, and then you can walk right up to the snack shack and get right behind the plate, and you can question every call of the umpire, Merle or anybody else. So you can sit there, and here comes Bert. I remember the first time I saw him pitch, and he's coming right at you, and the lefty this way, of course. But man, just the heat coming on, the way the ball moved. It was amazing. I tell you, the excitement, the smell of the popcorn, smell of beer, of course. But I tell you what, those days, I'll never forget it. At that time, I just knew the name Bert Verdugo. And through time, as Marty and I became best friends, it wasn't just Bert, the name, it was the man. And what a special person he is. And through the years, I grown to love him and Bev. They were two of a kind. It was Bert and Bev all the time. And I tell you, a special man. And like Marty said, he taught you more. It was more, he taught you so many things about growing up, about winning, losing, how to lose, how to be a man, how to just, he's an icon. He's a legend. And I tell you what, I just feel blessed that I was honored to be able to meet the Verdugos. Thank you.